Today's program is pretty interesting. Our guest today is Mr. Michael WhiteFeather. He is a clarity coach, awareness, life guiding, source consciousness embodiment, and energy healing. These are the things he's into. Now, the name of the interview is The Great Reset is about each one of us. We're going to talk about clarity coaching, energy healing, cosmic surgery, and conscious relationships, and more. All very interesting subjects indeed. So hello there, Michael WhiteFeather. How are you today?
Hello, I'm very fine. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Excellent. Well, thank you for...
How are you?
For agreeing to come on to this amazing, sensational channel of the people, by the people. And we have a lot of interesting questions for you. So why don't we just jump straight in and ask you to tell us a bit about what it is that you do.
Well, we have a mutual goal, actually. We are bringing information that is that is being suppressed from all kinds of directions. And so there is something big for us to do in this world. And so we really have a mutual goal in saying the things that people don't want to talk about, but should be heard and shared. And so that's what I wanted to say, reacting on what you just said. So,
but that's what you
was
do?
Your first question?
You tell people about the truth? You reveal the truth to people?
It is not that I'm doing that. I am a conscious guide, a conscious coach, which means that I'm working with consciousness, with your thoughts, your beliefs. So, but we can get into that really later. Your first question was?
Tell us a bit about yourself. Sorry, what you do, not about yourself. You don't have to tell us where you're from originally if you don't want to, although I'm curious about your slight accent. Can I take a wild guess? I would guess that you are either German or Dutch.
Dutch.
Hoe gaat het met u?
I'm Dutch.
Hoe gaat het met u?
Met mij gaat het heel goed. En ik ben blij hier te zijn.
Goeiedag.
We leven in een spannende tijd.
And the longest word in Dutch is Hottentotten tentoonstelling.
Yes.
Amazing.
And it's very difficult for Dutch people to say this word. So this word. So the fact that you are flapping it out like that, it's you could be a Dutch guy.
Yeah, I've practiced. It's like anti-disestablishmentarianism is the longest word in English. So that's the equivalent.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
So
that's why we're here, right?
Yeah, we're trying to bust the establishment. You know, we go against them, we reveal them, we show their real faces and the alternative.
Exactly. So I would like to say I'm a system buster.
Okay.
Which is which makes it a bit more earthly. What I'm doing, I'm busting the systems that are against us, that are not pro-life, that are not pro-love, that are here to control us and to manipulate us and to milk us from our blood, sweat, equity. And so this will really describe what I'm doing.
But how do you do it? Do you just do it by fixing people and making them aware? Or do you physically go and destroy systems and people?
Well, we are walking systems, but we just don't realize it. We know it, but it's not that we are every day realizing that there's some programs that we could maybe change, or we're just doing the same every day for 50, 60, 70 years, and that's it. So we are all walking programs, and so I just point you to what you're speaking.
Okay.
Because what you speak is showing what you believe, what your ideas are about life, about politics, about love, about relationships, about what you speak will show me exactly where I can take you to a different kind of seeing, because we don't know who we truly are. There's a part of us that we have never met, which is interesting. And everybody that did that process to meet that part is like, wow. They could not believe that there was something they had never met before.
Yeah.
And that in itself is shattering all kinds of beliefs and programs that you carry.
Yeah, well, I'm personally trying to find who I am, and I'm aware of the fact that I'm full of layers and denials and avoiding myself in different ways. But hopefully I'll manage to kind of get in touch with my real self and find out who I really am, and perhaps feel more ease in my life, and maybe ecstasy, maybe exhilaration and absolute ecstasy. Who knows?
Yes. It will happen if you take the steps of self-realization, for example. You will get to that point automatically by just following those simple steps. So it can take you maybe 1 day, 2 days, or 3 days, or 5 days. But eventually you will experience something, and an experience is a wisdom, is a knowledge, you cannot go back from what you have experienced.
Self-realization sounds like, is it Ramana Maharshi who spoke about that?
Yes. Amongst others, there is Muji, who is a bit more of our time, and who really points you to that you are divine being, you are God in a sense. It's not that you are that, but you are part of it. You are connected to it. You cannot be disconnected from it. Otherwise, you would not be here, or you would be dead. Or so he brings people back to what they truly are, and they cannot see that because they are in a certain pattern of life, and so they never take the time to see what else is there. So if you see things only from one point of view, then that is your reality, while there is a 360 degrees of possibilities and ways of looking at things. And then there is our belief of being separated from God or being connected with God. If we think we are separated from God, it means that we don't really know ourselves yet. If we pray to a God outside of us, we don't really understand that it's inside of us. So it doesn't mean that it's wrong or right. It's just there is another level of seeing. So, what was your question?
Yeah, you were saying, just mentioned self-realization, but how about if we jumped into the next question, which is, what are conscious creators and unconscious creators?
Unconscious. Well, conscious is the people that are consciously looking at their programs, which are not bad or good. They're just what it is. So the moment that you are born, you are being formed by your parents, by your brothers, your sisters, your family, your teachers. Everybody is pouring their ideas into you. And so you are developing perspectives. And so 95% of the day, we are operating subconsciously, meaning we are just doing things by a repetition, by an automatic behavior, that we don't have to learn how to drive every day. Thank God, because that would be a terrible thing. So there is a conscious way of approaching things, and to say, okay, I understand that I'm programmed. I have certain beliefs. Let's look at them. Let's see which ones I want to keep, which ones are limiting me, which ones, because every belief you have, it's creating something. So it doesn't matter if that's why it's not good or bad. It's just what it is. Your thoughts, your beliefs, they are creating reality, and you are seeing it. And so you are being confirmed in what you believe. And so you keep believing it because you are being confirmed in what you are seeing.
Can you give us an example, please?
An example.
Like, you can say this person is an unconscious creator, so he constantly, thinks about things that don't serve him. I don't want to give you the example, but you can say, I had a patient who always said to himself, I am blah, 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 and look what happened in his life. He created these situations, and it kept repeating. And on the other hand, you have a conscious creator who is this and that, with proper examples from real life.
Yeah. So for me, a conscious creator is somebody that is aware that he is programmed. And from that moment on, he's looking at what that really means to his life, how his programs have created certain events into his life, his beliefs, his way of reaction is causing certain things to happen. So most of the time, we are not really conscious of what we are doing with our words. So a simple example is money doesn't grow on trees. Well, it does, because money is made of trees. It's made of paper. So money is really our trees. So we say a lot of things that we are keep repeating, but we don't really understand what it's doing to us. It's keeping us in a certain limited way of being, lack mostly what is not instead of what is. So conscious creator knows that certain words you don't use because you know the creational power of using those words. So you start to look for a different wording, how to say things, how to say, I don't want to go out with you tonight. You can say it in a different way. I feel that I have to stay home tonight. It's a different way of approaching and a different way of creating, because the other person is receiving something not about her or him, but about you. I don't feel like going out tonight. So conscious creator is somebody that puts awareness to what he's saying, what he's thinking, what he's believing, and he looks at all he has gathered from the past, and to see what do I want to keep, what is limiting me, and what is empowering me or lifting me,
I see.
keeping me stuck.
Good examples, fair enough. And what about how do beliefs and perceptions become ours?
Well, from the moment you are born, every idea that you have, really, is it really yours? Everything you know, is it really yours? Or is it coming from what you have read, other people have told you, what other people have taught you in school or academic life or in the army? It doesn't matter where you go, in church, nothing is really yours, right?
Example?
Would we say that?
Example?
Well, your name, for example, is that your name?
Well, I don't know about your name, but is it me, I would say. Am I really Michael Bloom? Well, obviously not. It's just a name that somebody gave me.
But
It's like looking at the tree and saying this leaf is Michael and this leaf is John. Well, it's not. It's just a belief.
No, but that would be my next question. So my first question was, what was it again? What did I say?
Is my name mine?
No, you didn't give yourself this name, did you?
Yeah, my parents did.
Okay. So, but you use it every day.
Yep.
Right? And it gave you a character, a person, an identity, everything. Everything is formed around what you have been taught from the day you were born. So if you grow up in a religious family, you will be religious. If you grow up in Africa, you will be an African, an Eskimo. Everybody have different beliefs, which is kind of odd in my viewpoint of the world today. It's actually kind of separating us and not making us one. But
yeah.
Again,
so beliefs, perceptions become ours. What about people who say, you need to work hard to make money or to earn money?
So that is a perception but it's not your perception. Yeah. It's not your idea that has been put into you, right? But you take it.
Also, you know how a mother tells her child, or a father says, you are no good. Look at the neighbor's child. he's good, he's successful, he got straight A's, but you,
Yes.
you know, you're a failure. Well, there you could believe it, and you could believe you're a failure, and then all your life you'll just create failure.
Yes. And so, but it's not your original idea of yourself,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
Yeah. And so then, of course, the question, who are you? You're not your name. You're much more than that. You're a multidimensional being, inside the body, outside the body. You're everything and nothing. But that's a whole different talk.
I was going to ask you, what does multi-dimensional being means?
It means that you are not just one, only this. You're not just the body. You are partly not physical. There's many aspects that are not physical, that are not here, because we would explode. Our body could not handle that amount of light. So we are here to have a human experience. So we are carnated, not even incarnated, because in means no. And so I would say we are carnated. We are in the flesh, really, part of us. But there's parts of us that are not here. And so multidimensional, in my viewpoint, is that you are not just physical, you are also etherical, just light.
Fair enough. So what about beliefs that reinforce other perceptions and beliefs? And if you can give examples. Beliefs that reinforce other perceptions. Beliefs?
Believe.
Yeah, beliefs. And how does it reinforce another perception or maybe another belief? As far as I know, you can have a belief and then you can under it an underlying belief which is even deeper, you know, like the core belief systems as they are known. And then you might have an even deeper belief, and all that dictates how you behave in life and what you think and what you say and what you create.
Yes. So most of them are created from the moment you are born until you are 8, 9 years old. So there you can find everything in those early years. Actually, they are determining how you are today. So you can today see what has been put in, because if the input will create an output, right? So this is really your question. It all depends on the input. So the more input you have, the more perceptions and beliefs you will gather. And so with what is going on today, there is a huge war on our consciousness. We are being fed perceptions, beliefs, ideologies, which are not true. But everybody's eating it. And so it's belief on belief on belief on belief, and it's building and building and building and building, but you can't break it down. We can help everybody to break it down, to bring them back to that God part, really, to being a conscious being.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's terrible. I mean, like, you know, we are told, for example, that we are unable to think for ourselves, that we need the professor this to tell us that, and we need Dr. so-and-so to tell us what to do, and we shouldn't listen to our inner guidance, and God forbid we shouldn't do what instinctually we feel is the right thing medically to do, God forbid, etc. And all that's coming to an end, I guess, over the last few years.
It is. We are going into beautiful times where a lot of new, with real solutions for once, real solutions. So I think we're living in an amazing time where we are being pointed to really start using our conscious awareness to pay attention to things that we didn't before, and to have a broad look on life and on everything, and not to just judge everything away, or but to really look at everything, and then to see how we can discuss things, not to make that bad and that good, and because that's old. We have to really come together to see what is happening without labels, without judgment, without emotions, really. And we are being pushed towards a lot of emotion. It has to explode, and then we will understand that, wow, why didn't we see that before? And everything will calm down. That's how I feel things are. But really, we are being asked to really use our consciousness. If it's for healing, if it's for a relationship, if it's for your food, the health of your body, you can solve things with conscious. I do healings, not that I'm the healer, but there are sessions that I do with people that have crazy results just by thought. And I do it together with my partner, Tal. And we just did recently a few things. And we are just sitting here, just through our conscious intent from the heart. And we're doing stuff. And the other side lets us know after this and this, this and this. And so we're like, wow.
Could you give us an example? Exactly that thing, you and Tal. What did you say? What did you think? And what happened to the person? What did he report later?
Okay, so we are sending 2 frequencies. We don't know what that is because we don't need to know what it is because it's coming through us anyway. If she opens up or he to just receive that, it will be received. And so 2 frequencies are being sent, which will create a 3rd frequency. And that is the key. I don't know which frequency that is. I have heard them in my ears, so I kind of know. But every problem has a different frequency. Every organ has a different frequency. So we are just open to let that which needs to be received come through us. So we don't have to think. It's not our mind doing it. It's pure heart intent. And so the other side is responding like, wow, I could feel a vibration through all my body. It's somebody who's recovering from a stomach cancer. She could not use the stomach. So she is in a place where she can revalideren. It's the same word in English, revalidate? No.
Reevaluate?
No. Where if you cannot walk, you have to go to a center to learn how to walk again.
Rehabilitation.
Rehabilitate. And so she experienced a vibration in her body that she never experienced, and then a deep, deep, deep relaxation that put her to sleep. And so we were finished in 15 minutes. And after 40 minutes, she gave us a text like, I fell asleep, but this is what happened.
Uh-huh.
And now, after some days, she messaged me that she's feeling much better. And so this is just one little thing. We did a session with a woman that had a mole on her leg, and it grew bigger and it was hurting. And there was 2 years ago, and we just sent whatever we needed. And the girl, she sent pictures for her leg, and she said, I cannot believe it's gone.
Wow.
Okay, I cannot believe it's gone. So, and I'm looking at, we can also not believe it, but it's happening. So thought doesn't need to travel. And so eventually we're going to do teleportation. We're going to be in New York like this.
Yeah.
Because it's the future.
Yeah. It's the so butterfly effect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just, we don't know that we can do that yet. So we're not doing it yet. But if we know that, when we know how things work, things become clear to us, right? Yeah. Suddenly some things click. But you couldn't know that before you had this little experience. So
yeah. And you sure didn't believe it. And if you don't believe it, you can't create it. And therefore, it doesn't happen. So back to you on a personal level. Who gave you guidance through the years? And how did that affect your life?
Wow, many beautiful people in my path. Many. And I'm still learning from everybody today, even you. Because we're sharing, I'm exchanging. I'm like I said, I'm not really a healer. I'm just a channel. for you to recognize yourself as God, because I'm nothing more or less than you. So I lost your question again.
Who gave you guidance throughout the years?
So yeah, a lot of people, Greg Braden, Joe Dispenza, Bruce Lipton, Cryon, Sasha Stone, who is in my eyes poet, warrior. Words are not enough to describe this man. Language and the way that he brings the truth and the things that need to be said. So many beautiful people, but I was very drawn to psychic, channeling, spiritual energy healing, and so Greg Braden and Joe Dispenza and Bruce Lipton, they really opened my my perspective to healing by thought, because it's really possible. If water has memory, and if your heart is a magnetic machine, magnetic brain, then it's amazing what we can do just by thought, intent, and by clearing programs. Because all our programs that we don't know of are limiting us and creating illnesses and diseases because of the things that we believe. When we go to a doctor, we believe the diagnosis. Oh, you will die in a year. Holy shit, I'm going to make arrangements, most people say. Because we believe what they tell us, because they are people of authority. And so
yeah,
I rest my case.
We often hear about people who were diagnosed with cancer, and before that, they seemed fine. But as soon as they were told, you have cancer, you have 3 months to live, within a week, they were like, they deteriorated into nothing, literally.
Yes. Yes. I'm working now with somebody that has cancer. Well, few people actually, but one of them got the same message a few years ago of a guy who was not even the physician himself, but his assistant. And he said, well, I'm sorry, I'm looking at this, but you better go home and make arrangements because you have maybe a month to live. And I'm now working with her and we're making progress, which is amazing.
Yeah.
So, you know, if she would have believed him, which she didn't, she would not have been here. But she took it into her own hands.
Yes. Lucky her. So when did you come to Israel? And why did you come to Israel? And how do you feel about living in Israel?
Love, 2011, and mixed feelings. Israel's beautiful, and I met some beautiful people. But there's, you know, it's Holland, it's Israel, it's Germany, it's all the same. The system is the same everywhere. So there's beautiful things everywhere. I'm here for a reason, big reason. Love brought me here. But the work that I'm doing is more why I'm really here. And the woman that I came for also told me that she knew that. So that was not meant to last. And I'm still here because I do have a message which might be uncomfortable for a lot of people, but that's okay. People were not wrong or right in what they believed or didn't believe. It's just that there's a new time coming where nothing will work anymore like we thought it would work. Treatments, ways to heal, ways to process your problems, your issues. And so I'm here to tell you that I'm here if that time or when that time comes, because it's going to come.
Yeah.
To assist you in this process, because it's kind of tough to understand or to know that what you believed in is really not so. Many people are going through this shift right now that chose to look at this consciously. There's many people that are still pushing it away, which is fine. No judgment. Everybody has their own time but there's things to look at really. We live in a new age where the old stuff doesn't work anymore.
Yeah. So still on a personal level, if I understood you correctly, You fell in love with an Israeli woman. You came to Israel. You moved to Israel because you were in love with her. But eventually you
Yes.
did separate. You're no longer with
Yes.
her. And you met
No.
Tal now, which is your new love.
Yes. Yes.
So, okay. And the reason you stayed here is because you have a message. Now, why can't you deliver the message in another country? Why Israel? Because Tal is here.
Well, yeah, of course. I stayed because of Tal.
So you came because of one love and stayed because of another love, and you are justifying it with a story about a message.
Yes, but there is also that part. But everything together, I think the work is more important than the romantic part. But you know, it kept me here because I had to really be here. So even if I don't want to be here, I have to be here. So it's higher than the person in a way. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yes, clear.
But Tal is exactly the one that I've been looking for my whole life. So it was not a hard choice. You understand?
I can imagine, yeah.
But here, this land really needs. There's a lot of old history, old ways that need to be. Light needs to be shined on some things that are maybe not true or not the way we thought it really is. And this is a very important place in the world. It's the throat chakra, where we have to speak. We have to start speaking truth, even though if it's uncomfortable, not to hurt people or to make other people wrong, but just to speak what we know now, today. Not to make the old ridiculous or whatever. No, just to say, are we still going to do this? Or are we going to proceed from what we understand today? And that's a different approach, I guess.
Yeah, sure. So you know how you say that, I mean, what does it mean to be a conscious coach? I mean, you claim to be a conscious coach. So what is your occupation definition, or how exactly do you describe your activities as a conscious coach?
Well, everything that is going on with you, whether it is in your love life or in your work or whatever it is your consciousness, your awareness, your beliefs that are causing everything either to flow or not to flow. And so I take you to how you are creating the things in your life, because it's not outside of you. You're not being attacked by anybody. You are not the victim. So bringing people back to themselves to understand that they create everything themselves with what they believe. What is your beliefs? It's how you have been programmed from a very young age, and what you have studied. When you go to school, you are being programmed with everything that you are studying. So, but not everything is true. We understand that today, right? So you're believing things that are not true, and so your reality is based on things that are not true. So we have to see where you are creating these things so that you can easily say and see them. When you see them, most people don't see their hidden programs. And so when we shine a light on them, the seeing is the key. When you see it, it starts to dissolve.
So how do you find these base core beliefs? I mean, surely you heard of Byron Katie and the work?
Of course. Actually, by letting you speak, I know exactly what to do with you, because you come to me with whatever is not flowing in your life, or what you want to enhance maybe, or expand on, or whatever it is. Find love. People want to find love. Why we're not finding love? People are trying to find love, but you should not try to find love. It will happen when you are ready. If you're not in a good relationship, it means that the man is not bad or the woman is not bad. You attracted each other. So why did you do that? Instead of, you are both in this relationship. So you have to approach it from a higher perspective, from a higher seeing, a deeper looking, if you want to say.
Yes. Okay. So how did you prepare yourself for what is happening now in the world? Did you? Are you preparing yourself at all in any way?
Well, yeah, by clearing my own programs, by really paying a lot of attention how I speak, what words I use, because what do I want to create really would be the question. Every thought creates something. So I've prepared myself to be a clear vessel that is not bothered by how you would react to me or the things that you would say to me or name calling or whatever. It just goes in here and it goes out there because I don't even blame you because I know it's about you. So that took a while. No, I was not always like that. But I'm a very quick learner and I really wanted.
So you don't get triggered? Not even by Tal?
Of course, because we are humans. I'm not God in the sense of I'm now a saint and enlightened. I wouldn't be here. So luckily, I have a lot of things to discover yet. But I'm consciously every day. I made a decision once in my life that this is how I'm going to live my life. That I will pay attention to what I'm saying, thinking, believing, hoping. I hope. Wow, I don't use that word anymore. Hope says it's a lack. It means it's not good right now, but I hope it will be better. So conscious coaching is telling you what words you use are creating your reality. Now, if you want to look at it, it's going to change your life right away because you're going to see things right away. Tuck, 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 tuck. Certain things will not happen to you anymore. So it can be very fast.
Yeah.
And self-realization is within one session you can have an experience that you never had before. That is mind expanding. It's heart expanding. So
fantastic. So can you tell me about sign frequencies, stones, intent, thoughts, activation by voice, and light language?
Okay. Sign language. I don't think that's the right word that
light.
So I guess you read it.
Light language.
Light language. Light language is kind of a gibberish. No words. It is speaking in tongues in a way, toning, making sounds, but not from a paper that you want to read or from what sound shall I make. No, it's just a free flowing of whatever comes, and it's meant to bypass your mind because we're always busy with our minds. So sound, frequencies, vibration is the quickest way to balance, to get in a quiet space. You just have to breathe, actually. So the sound is making a vibration. And when you breathe in through the nose and you make a sound through the mouth, and it's not deep, you're very shallow. You cannot think. So when I then will in a session, I will use sounds, tones, frequencies, kind of a language. I can say I have no clue what it means, but I'm just doing that because that's what's coming through. And people have written me things that I'm like, wow, that's amazing. So I'm doing something energetically, like a shaman, if you want to call it, but I don't want to put labels on it. Reiki, it's also not Reiki, energy healing. Everything is the heart. It's what you intend to do, it will happen. And so if you're not so good at it in the beginning, it will maybe not happen like you wanted, but you're getting better and better and better because you believe it. And so you're practicing it every time. And so people really experience things that I don't know what they're going to experience. I don't know what I'm saying and why I'm making a certain sound, but I know that it's working and it's doing something higher than my mind needs to understand.
So about sine
And
frequencies. Sine frequencies.
Yeah, it's I don't. That's the word that didn't fit in that row that you use. Sine frequency. I don't know what is sine
So
frequency.
stones. What can you say about stones?
No, I work with stones. I have a pendulum. They call it dowsing. It's muscle testing. The stone has consciousness.
Something happened to the microphone. It sounds like you're
good?
No,
It's
like
good?
Maybe you should move that pendulum from it, the crystal. Maybe that caused it. No, no microphone. Dead. Can you say something?
1, 2, 1, 2.
Sounds like you're in an aquarium.
Great.
I think you hit it with your hand, and that's when it happened. So maybe you disconnect it. You can disconnect it. Strange.
How's this?
Yeah, better. It's back. Good.
Yeah.
You're back to normal. So, what about the activation, voice, light language, frequency, stones? You were talking about stones. You said you work with stones. What kind of work?
Yeah, I work with a pendulum,
Yep.
which is answering questions, dowsing, muscle testing. Do you know anything about
Of
it
course.
or not?
I even
Yeah,
have one
good.
here, but I don't believe. I tried using it a few times. Nah. And some people did it. Sometimes it's accurate. Sometimes it's not.
Because you need to have a chart, and you need to actually program the pendulum or the stone or whatever you use.
Yeah.
In a certain way. I have a whole PDF about it.
Okay.
And it's a very complex system, and you can ask many things. But I've been working with it quite a few years, and I can feel you see lines, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the top and no, and so I can feel when it's yes, it moves across the line. When I'm trying to move it sideways of the line, it wants to stay.
It
on the
screws
line.
up microphones. That's for sure. Every time you bring it close, it screws up the microphone. Unbelievable. Now I can't hear you. Every time you bring it close, it kills the microphone. So do what you did before, please, to fix it.
Check 1, 2.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so I will not touch it
Don't.
anymore. But it's very powerful stone.
Absolutely.
So
we just saw.
when I let it go on the paper or on the chart, it follows the lines. It gives, so am I a woman? It will go to the no. Okay, so when I try to move the pendulum off the line, it will want to stay there magnetically.
Okay.
And so you can feel that no, it wants to stay there. So it's not me doing it. It wants to stay on the line corresponding to whatever you.
And how come? Who's moving the pendulum?
It's your essence. It is the intelligence that comes through your body with movements inside. It's muscle testing, kinesiology. So it doesn't lie. Your body knows sooner than your mind if you're sick or healthy, or if you have an illness or an ailment. Your body already knows you have to go to the doctor. So the body is very smart. It will always give you the correct answers, but you have to be empty, no mind. So you have to train yourself. You cannot just buy one and now expect that you are an experienced dowsing or pendulum user.
Yeah.
No, I didn't use it for quite a while. I carried it with me. I really, 7 years ago, I bought one. And now I'm really coming out that I'm working with it.
Fair enough.
Only now.
Very good.
Okay, it's the first time that I'm saying I'm really working, and I really, really trust it. 100%.
I don't want to get to a point that I can't move without it, and everything I do, I'm going to ask the pendulum. I just want to follow my instincts and see If it kills me, it kills me. If it doesn't, at least I'm free. So how about
it's interesting to know what is good for your body to eat. You know, it's very interesting. Is meat good for this body right now? Oh no, not right. Or lemons. Because why is lemon not good for me right now? Okay, it's not good for me right now. Maybe later. But it's very interesting to know things that we don't really know.
Yeah. So, as I said, I wouldn't mind coming to you for a session, ask you the questions, give me the answers, and I'll go home. But I don't want to do it myself because then I'll be dependent on it all day long, every single day. But that's me, you know. I mean, I'm a journalist, you know, as you can see. I'm not meant to be using a pendulum. So
is he speaking the truth?
Try to. So what about your calling? How do you see your calling in life?
My calling is to create awareness of the abilities that we all have, and to free ourselves from slavery, from bondage. Because if you know how to heal yourself and you pass it on to the next one, and everybody does that, then soon we have no more need for hospitals.
Yeah.
So that already is a great win. So, I'm here to serve us all and to bring truth, to separate truth from fiction.
Okay. So what kind of people come to see you? I mean,
all kinds. All kinds.
What conditions do they have?
Like I said, I work with a few people that have cancer. One person that has been in a mental hospital. People that have ascension symptoms, or that have how do you call it? Crohn's disease. There was a guy once who had a broken elbow and it didn't grow back, and he was stuck with the arm like this, and so nothing worked. So he had to have surgery.
Yeah,
and he came to us, and it's family of Tal, living in England, and so he came to visit us, and I said, listen, I don't know if I can, but shall we do something, because you know what I do? And he said, yeah, let's try. Okay, so we did, and that took away a lot of pinch and needles in his arms during the day and during sleep. Then a few months later, he came to visit us again, and we were on the beach, and I said, how's your arm? He said, well, I don't have this and this and this anymore, but I can still not do. So shall we do something? Yeah, let's do. So I do. It was amazing music that night in Tel Aviv Beach Club. Israel is a beautiful place. And there was an atmosphere, and I start to move energy from his head to his shoulder. It was his left arm, and his arm was leaning on the chair. And within 2, 3, 4 minutes, I see his arm come up from the chair and slowly start to stretch, and he was looking at it, and I was looking at it like, wow, is it really happening? And he was looking at me, and almost until it was straight. It was not possible, according to the doctor, to the physiologist, all kinds of professionals. He had to have surgery, but we saw what we saw. That night, he carried plastic bags in his arm, which he couldn't before. He didn't have pain sleeping. So
amazing.
You know.
So is that? Would you say?
Did I do that? No, it's not that I did that, but it came through me, and he was ready and curious enough that it could happen.
Yeah. Would you say that was cosmic surgery?
Yes. Yes. And I've had quite a few of these experiences where people tell me what happened after, and I'm serious. I have no clue what they are experiencing. I'm just here doing what I'm doing. If it's in my room or if it's behind the screen, I'm doing what I'm doing, and then they just write me, thank you very much. I have no more pain in my eye. My mole is gone, or the picture showed no more cancer in the lungs. So keep doing what you're doing. My values of the Crohn went in green. It never happened before. Keep doing what you're doing. So it's crazy. but
Okay.
it's happening.
Yes. So
Yes, and it's pure because I'm showing you that with your consciousness, you are changing your current situation.
yeah.
So it's just me helping you. But yeah, I do some things that are divinely guided or helped or
Such as?
cosmically aspects of Sirius. In Sirius, I was a artist of genetics that was told by somebody, and then I hear from there, and so things come to me.
You
I
mean
have
the
not
planet Sirius?
Yes.
Apparently I'm from
Yes.
Sirius B, according to a
Yeah, me
channeler.
too. Me too.
Ah, so
Me too.
you're my
And
buddy.
my name there is Gree,
Ah, well,
like agree.
okay.
And so I understood that maybe the word agree is not the right word to say because it's like asymptomatic.
Yeah, like
Agree.
negative.
Maybe we should just agree
Hmm,
on things instead
maybe.
of agree. Yeah, but interesting. So Sirius, Lyran, Pleiadian, Arcturan, things are coming through from the 22 galaxies of the multi-galactic diamond. And so I make light language, art, light codes that I put into videos, which are helping people to let go of programming of implants, which is beliefs also, on an energetic level. So
I see.
that's what I do.
Okay. So
Yeah.
now we are going to move on to, when you say nothing is real. So captivity as slaves, history, wars, admiralty law, which is something I know a lot about, the straw man, economics, etc. This is all the stuff I used to learn about 15 years ago, 17 years ago, 13 years ago, just when I woke up. Yeah.
Yes.
So tell me, you want to talk about the straw man? You want to talk about admiralty law?
Well, I think the most important thing to take from it all is that there are so many things that we don't know about who we are and about our rights, and so it is very interesting to touch upon all those topics: the strawman, the birth certificate, how we are being enslaved from the moment that we are born into a system that is not for us. And so the whole world, this whole reality is false light, matrix reality. And we have to transcend that. So nothing is really real in that sense that it's all within that program that we have been born into kind of a slavery. We are thinking we are reincarnating, but it is not really into in that way that we believe. I have to go to the toilet very, very bad.
Yeah.
Probably
Okay.
not a good moment.
So what should we do? I mean, we don't have much left. It's been almost an hour. Can you give us one more minute?
Well, it's really.
So go.
I can be done very quickly.
I'll talk to the people in the meantime, and I
will be back in a second.
Yeah. I could explain about the admiralty law and about a few other things here. So, well, basically, he says we are living in captivity as slaves. Well, slaves is pretty self-explanatory. We are slaves of the system, till the corona, and even now we've had 3 jobs and a mortgage, and we want to buy a house, so we have to go to the bank, and the bank allegedly gives us money or lends us money. Well, basically that money doesn't exist in reality. The bank actually creates the money out of thin air and gives it to us based on our promise to pay it back with our hard labor. So me going to work for 30 years and working hard, I am going to get paid and pay the bank back the money. Now that money, as I said, was created based on my promise to go out there and work. So it's my money. It's my money. It's created on my hard labor. So ridiculously, it's been lent to me with interest when it's my money in the first place. It's not like the bank had the money and then they went and transferred it to me. It never existed. They just created it in my bank account. And all the banks are connected to each other. As I was saying, I'm just talking about how the banks lend you money that doesn't exist and it's created in your bank account based on your promise to pay them back. So, it's your money and it's being lent to you and you have to pay it back, etc. So carry on. All this stuff, free man on the land.
Like the economy.
Yep.
I like to say economy.
Econ on me, as in a con, as a lie.
Yeah. So you were saying that actually everything is ours, right? We are born into a planet that we are paying so much money to live. And it's kind of strange that we are here not enjoying all that is, because it belongs to all of us. But there are some people that don't agree with that, and that is changing. So, like I said, it's very important for us to come to realize that many things we should not just accept everything for what it is, and it's time that we stand up and take back our power, but in a good way, not in a fighting atmosphere, but to start to research what is our true nature, what is our true rights as a human being. Why are we here?
Yeah.
And how can we move on in this new time that we are in?
Sure. So let's talk about Tal. What exactly are you doing together in terms of a service to humanity and services you give people?
Let's call it. We're just friends, helping you to find yourself.
But how does it look? If I come to you, will you both meet me together and we'll have a conversation together?
Oh, if you would like that, yeah. But you can also choose just a one-on-one with me, or maybe only with Tal. It doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
We will just bring you home to yourself, where you will start to see things that you didn't see before, which will clear a lot of problems that might look like problems now, or issues, or things in the way. And so we are just clearing your backpack and taking out all the garbage that you don't need anymore. And we're hugging you, and we're going to give you some information if you want. And so it's only if you really want, we are here.
Okay.
To assist you in anything. And so if that's healing from illness or disease, or you want to know about your diet, what is good to eat for me, or about your work, am I in the right career?
So,
or
can I ask you?
I can help
to
you
do it now?
really with everything.
Could you tell me what's good for me to eat? Let's test you.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm very particular with my diet. So let's see if I'm on the right track.
Okay. So let's see. Microphone still good?
Yep.
All right. So it's a pity that I cannot show you how it is reacting, but maybe in some other time we can do a.
But what is it reacting to?
Well, I'm using this chart.
Yeah.
Right. And this chart has a yes and a no, yes and no. Yeah. No and yes. So I can answer questions with yes and no. So if you would ask me, is broccoli benevolent for my body right now? That would be a good question.
Okay.
And I can see if that is so.
So
yes or no.
So is broccoli good for me right now?
So let's see. I will start with asking, may I, can I, and should I ask a question for Michael Bloom? And it says yes.
Okay, meat.
So now I will proceed. Now I'm going to ask the question: is broccoli beneficial for Michael at this moment? Yes.
Okay, how about meat?
Is meat benevolent for Michael at this moment? No.
Okay, how about fish?
Is fish benevolent for Michael Bloom at this moment? Yes.
Okay, how about chicken?
Is chicken benevolent for Michael Bloom at this moment? Goes to the no.
Good, because I don't eat meat, I don't eat chicken, and I stopped eating fish as well a long time ago, and I don't eat fish, but you say I should. Now, what about, let me just...
No. It would not hurt your body, that's all.
Okay. So what about, can I ask something like fruit? Is fruit, or is that too general?
No, you can say, yeah, of course, fruit in itself is kind of general because you have acidic fruits, you have, so that would be a question in itself. So
I see.
If you would like to know specific fruit, I can certainly ask that.
Is papaya? Is papaya good for me?
Let's go back to ready for question. Question is papaya benevolent for Michael Bloom's body? Is papaya benevolent? Yes.
Yay, because I eat papayas. All right, good. You passed the test. Well done. I see.
All right.
How people can come and benefit from this. Now, what about the
listen,
thought?
One day I did it with a friend, and he said, "Listen, I don't believe in that crap. Can I want to test it." So I said, "Okay, test it." He says, "I want you to give me the first letter of a name of somebody in my family that I have no clue of course." And you can see that in this chart are also letters. You see them?
Yep.
Yeah. So at that time I had a different chart which I made myself, and I said, "Okay, it's not meant for that, but I will do it once." And so I asked the pendulum, "Please give me the first letter of whatever that person is," and it gave me exactly the right letter. And he was like, "I cannot fucking believe this."
Wow. So what thought?
It's 1 out of 26 letters, right?
I know you do thought sessions just by thought.
Yes.
What's that?
Well, thought is it's the quickest thing we have. The speed of light, the speed of thought. Thought doesn't need to travel, so we are all connected as one being. We just cannot see it, but we are connected. So healing by thought is just, I'm sitting here in my room and I spoke to you. I know what's going on with you. And so we discuss it. Then you hang up. Okay. And then you sit in your room or wherever you are, and I'm doing what I'm doing. You don't know what I'm doing. You're just there sitting, receiving. And so that is like a transmission. It's like an activation. And I am here speaking to you. I did this with a 10-year-old girl from India, like 20 sessions, every time 15 minutes, and she would go travel, and she would tell me afterwards what she would have experienced. And it's amazing. Like, I would be sitting here and she in India, and I would just speak in my mind. I recorded it a few times and I sent it to them. And her mother would write me what she would tell her, and then I compare it, and it's like, wow, it's amazing. And they had to wake her after 15 minutes. So she was totally in a way of receiving. She even could see the things in my house here. a lamp on the table, which is a red lamp. Who has a red lamp on the table? I don't know many people, but the specific things that she could see and do. So thought, healing by thought, it's if you think about yourself, I'm healthy, I'm strong, I'm flexible, and you say that to yourself every day, then something will start to happen with your body if you really can feel it. So your thoughts are influencing your level of health, your level of joy, your level of happiness, the quality of your relationships.
I see. Okay, so finally, how do you work when it comes to terms of payment or exchange of energy, as you define it? So exchange of energy, payment, whatever you mean by that.
Yeah, actually the same like you guys do. Contribution is for me the only way to go, because I don't want to put limitations on why I'm here for. I'm not here to earn money. I'm not here to work. I'm here to help other people, to assist other people in their journey. And so I say a contribution or donation is the way to go, because I cannot look in your wallet. I don't want to look in your wallet. And maybe there's other ways that you can exchange instead of money. And so I don't want to limit it to this is the amount, and if you don't have money, I will not help you. I'm the opposite. I really do a lot of stuff for free, because we live in a time where a lot of people really are short in money. So I know also that we are transcending this money system into a Gesara Nesara, abundance for all. So I already chose to walk that road and not to charge. And somebody also told me, you are King David, a friend of Saul's son. You're King David, and you're not supposed to ask money from nobody. It's forbidden. You are a reincarnation of King David, and you're here to rewrite the Bible, because they fucked it up. And then a friend of mine from Canada came here to stay with us 3 weeks. And they don't know each other. And he told me exactly the same thing. So, it's kind of, wow.
I understand perfectly, because as I said earlier, I mean, we are dependent on donations, and the beautiful thing about it is that we don't need an infinite amount of money. We need some money to live. So some people have money, some people don't have money. So some people donate, very big amounts, and other people don't donate anything. So the people who donate the large amounts cover for the ones who don't have the money to pay, which is great. And then you don't have to look into their pocket, as you said, and everybody pays what they can afford, and eventually it works out. Amazing.
Yes, and maybe not today, but maybe in a year you are well, and that. So I came up with something that I thought would be the best way for me to work is I want to create actually awareness among people that support me for €1 or €2 a month. If you like me helping people for free, because I would rather not ask anything. Just if you feel like exchanging whatever, you're free, but it's not necessary. It's not there has to be an energy exchange, okay? That's for sure. But somebody that leaves your screen smiling while they come in like broken birds, that for me is enough payment. So if there's people that say, wow, I really like that idea, I want him to always work for free, please support us in becoming a member on my buymeacoffee.com WhiteFeather, and support us there, so that I don't have to ask anybody for money anymore. And
wonderful.
That for me would be the perfect world. And then you're not helping me, but you're also helping other people and yourself. And you're creating something beautiful.
Clear.
It serves many purposes.
Okay, Michael WhiteFeather, we have arrived at the point where you are being asked to deliver a message to the people, something from your heart, a suggestion, a request, a demand. What is it that you want to tell the people?
To be as neutral as possible in the times ahead. To bring extra understanding and understanding for the ones around us. For their different beliefs or perceptions or ideas, because it's going to get rough. And so if we get lost in the emotions, the stories, then we slow the process down. So stay in the heart, or come into the heart as often as you can, because it's not possible to reside there constantly. So be there as often as you can, and don't watch the news. And if you do, then be grounded and know, do it from a place that it's okay. I just want to be informed. But if it's doing you emotional stuff, then turn off the TV. Be creative. Go figure out what excites you, and don't think about money or the future. Just now. Just figure out what really excites you. That's it for me.
Fabulous. So, Michael WhiteFeather, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, and I would like to thank you for this interview. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much as well. I really enjoyed it. I hope everybody enjoyed it as well. And like I said, whenever the time is here, I'm here. And
me too.
Until that time,
we shall see you soon.
Peace.
Until that time, peace and joy for everyone. So thank you very much, Michael WhiteFeather. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Please do share this interview wherever you possibly can. Thank you and goodbye.